Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Comic Books Go to the Movies. I'm Sean Basinger, aka the Fox and the Fedora, and with me are
Zach, better known as Menace of Games.
Conan Bell, better known as Fighting Leaf.
Rory Griffin, also known as the Tiger Wolf 55.
all right, episode 2. And Conan, thanks for joining us this time. I know you couldn't make it last time because you were on vacation.
I wish I was still on vacation. That was a very nice vacation.
Aw.
I miss you, vacation. Warm, sandy beaches and swimming pools and hula hoops and dungarees and joke over.
I guess that joke sort of just ran its mile, like on the second thing, right?
Yeah.
In any case,
What just happened? Did Rory just explode?
No, he went. Mm-hmm.
Rory, you make weird noises.
Yes, I do. Thank you for noticing.
we had some news today.
Oh yeah, that.
I'd like to backtrack, and let Conan have his 2 cents because I know he's a big DC Comics fan too, primarily Superman. And I'd like to get his 2 cents on Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, since we had a big discussion on that last time. So, Conan, the floor is yours. Just based on what I've told you, what you've heard yourself. What are you thinking when you see the the information and also the whatever posters and photos there may be of Batman v Superman?
I'm afraid. I want this to be good. I know that this concept can be good. However, in the hands of the people, I've seen what they've done. I've come to understand their mentality, and it's the mentality that's really worrying me. It's that feeling of trying too hard. Like, I mean, you saw how the Marvel movies are doing things. They're making the freaking Guardians of the Galaxy. They're not worried. They seem to be a lot more relaxed about their situation than DC is. They're a lot more willing to just let it be fun at this point. I really don't see them. DC hasn't really demonstrated the capacity for light-heartedness in their epic entertainment. It's too much epic. Why do we need epic? Only works when you introduce it a little bit at a time so that we can grasp the full grandiosity of the situation.
I'm going to come out right now and say they tried light, and it turned into Green Lantern.
That was them losing track of a little thing called good graphics or good special effects, because by the end, Parallax turned into a torrent of brownie batter attacking a building. When you have that, it doesn't matter how good the rest of your movie is. When your villain is reduced to that, then no, it's not going to put anyone on the edge of their seat. They're going to look at it as like, I'm hungry.
Yeah, and if we're also speaking of special effects, all I gotta say is simply, Hal Jordan, nice mask.
Hal Jordan, you should totally wear a mask. Oh wait, never mind.
So now this next one is for Zach, actually.
Oh?
Hey Zach, Batman. It's called Batman v Superman, right? In like textbooks and all that, and whenever there's a court case, it's like something or someone v something or someone. Is this a court case?
Well, Superman did destroy one of Bruce Wayne's satellites in Man of Steel.
Because of that is most likely because of the lawsuit.
Is Batman just suing Superman for damage?
I sue you, Superman, for all of the things that you've done. Mostly my satellite, but still.
On a reporter's salary, right.
Now, the reason I go to Zach for this is because he recently did some live stream Let's Plays of all three Phoenix Wright, the first 3 Phoenix Wright games.
Of the original trilogy.
Go watch them now. Pause this and watch his videos.
All 39 2-hour videos. Good luck with that.
Woo! and I was just like, so Phoenix Wright representing Batman against Superman.
No, there's no way. Knowing how, considering that that Phoenix Wright is mostly suing against Tony Stark right now, it is most likely that that Batman only has to go with the second best lawyer of all time, Winston Payne.
I prefer Winston Churchill myself.
But he wasn't a lawyer.
I made it funny!
That's a fictional character, right?
Well, I just thought it's like, well, we've got so many other heroes in this thing, let's just start borrowing other characters. Hey, Phoenix Wright, get
Winston
over here.
Churchill, you're up!
He'd just be telling Batman, you have nothing to fear but fear itself.
Johnny Appleseed, you're in! Mario, hop up on.
Mr. Bean! Mr. Bean!
No, screw you, you're annoying. Eh,
No, they have to have a quirkiness to it in order to drive in the Marvel crowd.
no. Mr. Bean's annoying. Let's not invite him.
Yeah, but he's quirky.
What were you saying, Rory?
I don't even remember anymore.
He's just being passive aggressive. He's like, no, I don't remember. No, everyone's talking over me. No.
it just got out of hand like that.
It only took 5 minutes.
So the next thing I have is that there have been some recent set pictures coming in. There was they made this big Superman statue. Most of it is going to be CGI, I believe, and I'm guessing it's going to be like a tribute to Superman for saving the world from Zod. And in one scene they were filming, the statue got destroyed, and people were coming and laying flowers near it. And I'm like, is Doomsday in this film now? What is going on?
They're mourning the ratings of the movie.
Boo!
The ratings that they know what they're going to get.
Actually, Doomsday has been a rumor recently. Well, actually, he's been a rumor ever since Dwayne Johnson was tied in. But yeah, I'm hoping no Doomsday, please. It is way too early.
I mean, I thought Zod was too early, but that they made it technically make sense. But Doomsday?
Yeah, but Doomsday is a gimmick character, and for this kind of thing, if you're going to use the gimmick character, use him for the gimmick, and you can't kill Superman this fast.
Yeah, I guess the best time to probably use Doomsday would probably be maybe movie 3 if you wanted to make it a trilogy.
Well, that was what I was watching a video by Angry Joe when the announcement came out for Batman versus Superman. What he liked about it was that, oh wow, we're finally getting a movie with Batman and Superman in it. This is great. But on the downside, he was saying this is too soon in his opinion. He was like, there should have been at least 3 or 2 or 2 or 1 more Superman movie before Batman versus Superman.
I will defend that decision, if only because Batman and Superman teamed up in the 80s origin story Man of Steel, which is clearly what they're basing this franchise off of the most.
I just want to see Superman and Batman together because it's awesome.
What an honest answer right there.
I mean, I know I'm a critic. I'm the only. Am I the only reviewer left here? Rory, what do you do?
I have a small series on my channel, Cinema Semantics. I review movies too.
But yes, okay. So I am one of the 2 reviewer. I'm a reviewer. Hi.
Oh.
Hi.
But I still know how to have fun at movies. I know that sometimes you just want to see something because it's awesome. Superman and Batman together, that is the awesome thing that everybody wants to see. And it doesn't really I think part of the argument that Angry Joe brought up is valid, but the rest is at this point it's really just comes down to execution. And as far as I think what we're all worried about is the execution. We're not worried that it's not going to look good, because honestly, making a movie look good is in many ways the easiest part of making a movie work. It's not easy in that it's cheap or that it doesn't take a lot of work, but it's easy in that everybody knows what good looks like. But telling a good story, that's harder. because not everybody agrees on what a good story is like. The people writing it are going to think it's brilliant, but then suddenly the fans are going to think, you idiots!
Gosh!
Well, the thing about this is that I think, there's one of the worries, of course, this is the most popular worry, it was addressed last time, is that it's gotten so bloated with all these characters. It feels like they're just trying to get to the Justice League movie so they can get the market while it's hot.
It's like the guy who's walking down Walmart shoving down every DC superhero comic character into his pants and trying to waddle out of the store acting natural. You're too bloated!
Oh, hey, I did that last week.
Well, stop it!
Sorry. I'll stop when they make a Justice League movie.
Azrael must have been very uncomfortable.
I had baggy pants.
No. Now the next question I have is, do you think we'll get to see, as bloated as this is, a Batman villain?
Reports say yes.
Okay, now one at a time, starting with Rory, going to Conan, and then finally Zach. Which villain would you like to see?
What the villain that we are confirmed to be seeing is going to be Zaz. Joker is supposed to be there in spirit. In other words, he's not going to actually be there. But if I were to have my druthers for which Batman villain could show up, I'd like to finally see Black Mask or Doctor Strange introduced into Gotham City.
All right, Conan?
Jim Carrey. Not Jim Carrey as the Riddler, just Jim Carrey. He has become a Batman bad guy, and he is the one who needs to be in that corner.
Right. How about for real?
All right, for real. I've always been curious as to how people would handle Clayface. I know he would be a CGI nightmare, but if you have that movie, I know people like this sort of thing where a character like Clayface, he can disguise himself as anyone, so you're really not sure who's where anywhere, or he could be anywhere at all. You just have to piece together the clues as best you can. And it leaves itself open to the possibility of an interesting twist, but it also leaves itself open to the possibility of a really stupid twist. And I would just be curious to see which one they could pull off. The good one or the stupid one.
All right, Zach, how about you?
Jim Carrey.
Well, that's your pick, of course. Only thing is I have two of them, a joke one and a real one.
Okay.
You ready for my joke one?
Sure.
Egghead.
Yeah.
Vincent Price.
Vincent Price risen from the dead to fight off against Egghead.
Excellent.
Excellent.
It's funny because I said eggs.
I would actually say that one villain I want to see is actually a remake. Is actually a villain that we've already seen in the Schumacher films, Mr. Freeze.
I knew you were going to say that.
You seriously knew that?
Yes.
Ah, darn, unpredictable. Anyway, basically, because we already know the story of Mr. Freeze, the idea in which that he is stuck inside of a suit, stuck in cold temperatures because of an accident, trying to save his wife, blah, blah, blah. You know Batman the Animated Series. Basically, I was thinking that, they could have some fun with that. They could actually tell this story and actually give it a much more serious and darker manner. Which, since they want to try Nolaning the films, basically, this film...
Nolanating. The process of Nolanation.
Nolan Ray.
Well, yes, but I'm trying to stick away so I can make my own thing on this. So, basically, because Mr. Freeze actually works well in kind of a Nolan-style universe. Plus, pretty much what I noticed that Nolan wanted to kind of have, a sense of Batman of, sense of science, moreover, than magic. So pretty much wants to keep this in a realistic manner. And Mr. Freeze, you could kind of push the realistic manner on that with a bit of sci-fi-ness because, the idea of a cryogenic suit from chemicals, far-fetched, isn't it?
And plus Superman's gonna be here.
Well, yeah, you can use Mr. Freeze now because it's Superman.
Well, we've already seen, the alien part come from Superman. So, it's not out of the realm of possibility to do something as crazy as like a character like Clayface or Mr. Freeze. It just depends on, once again, as Conan says, the execution. How are you going to introduce these characters? How do you make them? How do you make the audience and the characters, believe in what they're saying? Because that's the most important part of a story. From what I've been taught, is that the characters, if the characters believe it, then the audience will soon follow. It is so. It really comes down to, does this character believe that he is Mr. Freeze and he has this freezing weapon? So.
Can I freeze people?
Oh, yes, I can.
Is that what you're basically saying? Can I freeze people?
Is that a rhetorical question?
Yes.
But anyway, yeah. So lots of speculation on Batman villains. Personally, I don't have a Batman villain I'd like to see in this film.
Really?
El Gaspo.
I am just content with maybe a secondary Superman villain, and Lex Luthor, because really, when I think about it, Lex Luthor, being the genius that he is smart enough to take on the Justice League as, a solo enemy. So I'm thinking that maybe he might be all they need. If they were to be a second villain in there, I would actually like to see Metallo, because that way you could have a way to get Cyborg in there, and Cyborg is in the movie.
And that would also make sense too, kind of give Superman a muscle that he has to fight, and the introduction to Kryptonite.
Yeah.
And speaking of Lex Luthor, pretty much, considering that he is a villain that can take on the Justice League, he is also known as the one man that can tick Superman off just by running for president.
I think he would tick a lot of people off by running for president.
Apparently not, since he won.
Yeah, but only running for the only reason he ran for president was just to tick Superman off.
That jerk!
Of course, you know what he did? He made Superman burn! Yeah, I know, I apologize. The only reason I was doing that is just so I could do that.
I know. So now some fun facts about Batman v Superman.
Did you know Ben Affleck plays Batman?
Oh wait, I knew that.
I didn't know that!
Okay. First of all, I found out recently. I think this is some of this is fairly old news, but I actually found out recently. I was actually, wow, okay, didn't know that. Warner Brothers actually asked Christian Bale to come back as Batman, and they offered him like $15 million, but he was like, "No, I've done my 3 movies. Someone else can go ahead and take over."
And the fans
Stop being
stoned
Batman for 8
him.
years. Deal with it.
One at a time. Zach first.
I stopped being Batman for 8 years. I think that's probably good enough for me.
All right, Conan.
And then the fans stoned him.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Wow.
I don't know. I think people were kind of happy to see, somebody else take over Batman, because
Apparently not Ben Affleck, though.
I don't know what I'm like. But that's the thing. You're sitting there. It's like looking at all the, like, we don't want Affleck. It's like, well, who do you want?
They want the actual Batman to play himself in the movie, because they want a fictional, idealized superhero to play the part exactly the way they want, because there is no actual human being who can play that part to their satisfaction.
Here's what I think the fans actually wanted. They want a CGI Batman that the animators will control and motion capture and everything, and have Kevin Conroy voice him. That is all
Yes!
they
Oh,
want.
I knew that. I knew you were gonna say that right when you said CGI.
Okay, yes, they probably want Conroy, but at the same time, we got the CGI thing in Beware the Batman, and look how long that lasted.
And you think the fans care?
We can say the fans as many times as we want, because we treat them as this big nebulous glob of over there, that big evil thing that we all poke fun at because it's a nice safe target. But how often do we think about the little bits of the problem that we contribute to that thing? How often do we contribute to the whining about the in this case the Superman v Batman v Superman movie, like kind of what we're doing right now?
I have been a defender of Affleck ever since he was announced.
I had no problem with Ben Affleck I was like, okay, well, let's see what he can do. We haven't seen any test footage. We haven't seen a trailer. We haven't seen anything. We just got the announcement and people went crazy.
Perhaps not Ben Affleck himself, but there are other times when we have been those angry fans. I just can't think of anything right now.
I will say this when it comes to the Ben Affleck thing is that remember back in 1989 when people said don't have Michael Keaton play Batman? Look what happened.
Thank you.
Or another one is also Heath Ledger and the Joker. People said don't have Heath Ledger play the Joker. What?
Oh, wait. I just thought of one. I rose up in angry indignation when they announced for the new Man of Steel movie that they were going to take away Superman's red undies. I said no.
Oh yeah, I
you
remember
cannot
that. I remember
do that. You cannot tamper with the classic look. They've done that before with Superman Red and Superman Blue, and that blew much.
Well, that was you.
Okay, maybe.
Just be glad that they didn't give him the stupid collar that he has in the New 52.
Is he trying to be like some kind of Baptist minister or something? Is that bad? I'm confused.
I think he's supposed to look like a white-collared worker.
The second. Oh, go ahead, Zach.
I was gonna say that like this is actually reminding me of like the Sonic fan base because there was a huge uproar when Sonic Adventure came out and people were angry at the fact that Sonic's eyes were green. They were angry just because of his change in eye color from being a black dot to having an actual eye color. And now we have the huge uproar on the Sonic Boom artwork that's actually done for the character saying, why do they have sports tape? Why is Sonic's arms blue? And why is Knuckles on steroids?
As the resident Rugburn here,
Yes.
Sonic Boom is going to be just fine. I'm going to watch it and I plan to enjoy it thoroughly, mostly because the voices for Amy and Knuckles are not the ones that they used in Sonic Lost World.
True, and basically, well, which is interesting because it's actually the original actors from Knuckles and Amy from that. The only voice that actually swapped out was just Tails, but it was so seamless that the fans didn't even notice.
Good gravy, you're right.
Anyway, back on Batman v Superman. The last fun fact I actually found out was the producer, or one of the producers, I'm not too sure, of the Paranormal Activity films, actually was involved with writing a script for a Batman versus Superman movie all the way back in 2001. So Batman vs. Superman has been on the to-do list for Warner Brothers since at least 2001, maybe even before that. The story was going to be that Bruce Wayne's fiance was going to be murdered by the Joker, and then he would go on a rampage, which would lead to him fighting Superman.
It all makes sense now.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It really didn't, especially since further investigation said that Lois might have died in that as well. A bunch of the characters probably would have been ruined, and the whole thing just ended up getting canceled anyway, and what we got instead was Catwoman.
Stop killing people. It's very inconvenient for storytelling.
Yeah, killing people. You better stop. People better stop doing that. Is that right, Leaf?
Hey. I don't kill people. I kill extras.
All right, we're not talking about this. All right, so next topic is actually the Flash TV series again. We have some new information. Actor William Sadler, who was the president in Iron Man 3, will be playing evil industrialist Simon Stagg. For those who don't remember, Stagg was responsible for the creation of the superhero Metamorpho, if you see the two-part Justice League episode.
I'm happy. This makes me happy. I want more.
Okay, so one at a time. We'll start with Rory, go to Conan, and Zach. Rory, thoughts about this?
Yay.
Yay.
That's just it. That's just everyone's.
I really have nothing. Flash hasn't really been on my radar because I'm probably not going to be able to watch it. So they're including Simon Stagg. At least they're at least they're making improvements on the original Flash TV show, and that it looks like they're actually including more comic characters right off the bat.
And it's actually got, bright
The
colors.
Flash needs bright colors.
Slightly brighter colors than the original Flash live action show.
Conan, you got any thoughts about this?
Well, bringing Stag into the picture brings us one step closer to bringing Metamorpho into the picture, and that brings us one step closer to bringing other sciencey-based superheroes into the limelight, which brings us a step closer to bringing together a world full of superheroes from the DC universe onto the live TV shows, not live TV shows, onto TV shows across the world, and that makes me happy!
And Zach.
And it's all going according to plan. All according to plan. Maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh.
Okay, that's it. Officially, Rory has a better evil laugh than Zach.
I have to pull out.
True, that voice must be saved.
So it looks like we did have that evil laugh competition after all. Okay.
And looks like, and I vote that I win. Any opposed? No. Okay, I win.
Right. Okay. We actually just going back, backtracking once again to the last thing I think we talked about before we closed down last time, which was the Fantastic Four reboot. It's just been brought to my attention that the new film, despite all the other things that people have been like not too sure about, we've now been told that it will have a found footage feel to it. For those of you who don't know what that is, think Blair Witch Project.
Or Chronicle. Or that new one, Echo to Earth.
So we'll start with Rory, Conan, and then Zach.
Everything that I'm hearing about this just screams at me, let Marvel have it back. Please.
Let them Disney it.
Believe it or not, yes.
Well, it would be awesome to get Doctor Doom into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because then he could be present for the Infinity Gauntlet situation.
And then Joss Whedon can be like, oh, no, I don't want to use Doctor Doom. I would like to use Doctor Horrible.
Right.
Then you can have that Avengers musical. That's what it's all driving back to, isn't it?
What, really? Oh, I was just making a Doctor Horrible joke.
Tale as old as crime.
Okay. So yeah, there's Conan, thoughts about the found footage idea for Fantastic Four.
Yes. What? Why? What is with this? No! What? The found footage is for stuff like... You don't use it for superheroes. You use it for people running around from giant Cloverfield monsters.
Chronicle.
Or from aliens. Or... Not for the Fantastic Four. We don't want to watch Fantastic Four's home movies. We want to see them. Okay? We just want to see them doing stuff, being awesome, having emotional character development here and there, but not on shaky cam in every frame, okay? Unless this found footage was put on a tripod, I don't want to see it. Rant!
Well, as Zach said, the guy directing this is Josh Trank, and he's had he did a really good film called Chronicle, which was found footage with superheroes, and a lot of people, critics included, were very happy with it.
Yeah, I myself actually like it. It's my favorite of the home video style movies. Second to Blair with Blair Witch Project being right behind it.
Tell me about this Chronicle, because it is not on my radar, and I have never heard of a found footage movie that did what apparently this one is doing, because I live under a rock called Fighting Leaf.
We do apologize to that. And basically I will say that allow me to give a little summary, Sean.
Yeah, go ahead.
Basically, Chronicle is that it starts off with a kid in which he wants to actually decides to make a home video version to actually record the rest of his life. He wants to just simply record it, just so he can have documentation, sort of like a video diary, in a way. And what happened was, one day he actually goes to a party and he actually goes home because he kind of does something to make himself really embarrassed. And what happened was that he actually sees this comet actually come and hit the Earth, and he and his friends go there to try seeing what's going on. They go inside and they get hit by an energy source, and now they have the ability to use telekinesis.
Oh, great! It's the Big Bang from Static Shock.
But what's interesting is that there's no music. Is that the whole it's a 90-minute movie and there's no music throughout the entire thing. But how they actually change camera angles is interesting, because it's not just through this one camera. Sometimes you're looking through a security camera. Sometimes you're looking through an iPhone camera. Sometimes you're looking through a news feed. You're basically looking through a whole bunch of different cameras that are going on in order to just tell what's going on in the story.
That's great for. That's all well and good for, I guess, for original characters and a relatively newish concept, but this is the Fantastic Four. We all know who they are. This does not seem like the time to be artsy in this case.
Yeah, I was thinking that because I'm thinking I've seen a lot of found footage films, and I'm thinking how are you gonna do that with Doctor Doom? Is he just gonna be going throughout the movie with we're gonna cut back to Doctor Doom on his cell phone, okay guys, I'm putting on this mask today, I'm gonna become a supervillain.
No, video diary style, kind of you see, today is April 3rd, 1997. I've decided to put on this metal mask and green cape because it's my favorite color after all. Now if you excuse me, you see, I'm not really here. This is a Doombot. Because that always happens.
Because he would do that, yes. Doombot, haha.
For some reason, I feel as though Doctor Doom would be the ultimate troll in that regard.
Well, what were you saying, Rory?
Something else along the lines that you had mentioned, Fighting Leaf. The last superhero film to try and get artsy was Ang Lee's Hulk. Look how that turned out. I think I gave him an aneurysm.
I thought it was okay.
Oh, he's over.
I was oh, it's the Hulk movie. Okay, what's he fight first? Oh, a poodle.
But see, that's the thing with that's part of why you don't get overly artsy with these well-known superheroes. It's the Hulk. Your first question is, okay, what does he smash first? We want to see Hulk smash. We don't want to see we don't want to see artsy. We want to see smash. Can he smash, please?
I feel as though there's going to be a fan out there and he's going to be like, well, you see, I thought the poodle scene was an Oscar-nominated scene right there.
You shut your hole!
Well, excuse me.
If anyone listening can name the movie that I just referenced with that, put it in the comments and you will get a cookie.
And after you do that, you can like, comment, and subscribe.
Please.
Comment and subscribe.
Next up, let's talk Sony.
Well, they make a very good PlayStation 4, I'll tell you that.
We have to.
Zach, you and I were originally recorded a review for The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, the reason that didn't come out is because sound quality was bad for some reason.
Oh, when we use that camera?
Yeah, so let's give a quick non-spoiler review for just ourselves, and then we'll move on to the big news. So, Zach, opinions on Amazing Spider-Man 2?
I'm gonna go with more. I still agree with what I actually said when we actually originally talked about it, and I actually am kind of mixed on it. For one thing, I like it, but the second, kind of don't. There's a few elements here and there, but mostly I do still call it a good film. But only thing is that you and me kind of agreed that it kind of is going the Sam Raimi Spider-Man film route.
Yeah, you got the first movie's villain looked ridiculous. Green Goblin looked like a Power Ranger. Lizard looked like a Goomba from the Super Mario Brothers movie.
And then the second movie had an awesome villain in which they actually died a pretty awesome death.
And there was the second movie was better than the first, but still, unlike the original Spider-Man 2, did not really have any thing I was like, oh wow, this totally beats the original Spider-Man 2. No, the original Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock still has, is still on top for me.
Yeah, I still like me some Doc Ock because I just love the performance from Alfred Molina.
Yeah, he did they did find a good guy to play the character. He looked like Doc Ock, and I think he did justice to the character. But then we were thinking, it's like, okay, wait a minute. So the first one was like, had the goofy looking villain, and then the second one had a really cool villain.
And then it clicked.
Oh no, the third one's not gonna do too good.
He's not gonna go dancing again, is he?
No. They have to. No. They have to modernize it. Dubstep.
No! 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 No!
Spider-Man is going to go sing karaoke with autotune.
I don't want to sing karaoke without a tuned dubstep song.
No, I think it's just gonna be autotune because Amazing Spider-Man 2 already had the dubstep.
Now here's the big news. The writing team that worked on The Amazing Spider-Man 2 has split up. And from an interview recently, I'll put the link in the description, they're not too sure as to what Sony's going to do with the series. They wanted to make a Sinister Six movie, Amazing Spider-Man 3, 4, and a Venom film. But now they're just kind of sitting in the doldrums, and they're just kind of like, they're just sitting there. There's nothing is happening. There is
Sell.
You shut up,
Who
Marvel
was making that
fans.
noise?
one at a time there. Zach first,
You shut up, Marvel fans.
and Conan.
Who's making that noise?
Just close the blinds. It's nothing important.
So Rory, what do you think besides just like sell?
Sony should have gotten rid of Spider-Man movie rights when Marvel was acquiring for Disney. I'm of the opinion that Disney and Sony should have switched. Sony should have kept the animation rights. Disney should have gotten the movie rights. As of right now, if Sony does not continue with the Amazing Spider-Man series, I will be very happy. I was not a fan of the first one. It was confusing enough to have some lady come up to me after the movie was over and ask if she had missed something, so that says a lot about the movie right there. I did not even bother checking out Spider-Man 2, and just for everything that they were saying, Andrew Garfield wasn't even going to be wanting to do Spider-Man after the third movie anyway, so they were either going to have to recast him or start bringing in Miles Morales or Ben Reilly or something else to replace him as Peter Parker. It was just going to be a mess. Everybody is complaining about DC trying to copy Marvel's formula and failing. Spider-Man did that first.
Spider-Man did it before it was cool. Or uncool.
Don't you mean hated?
This is making Spider-Man even more of a hipster.
He's the anti-hipster? Wait. I'm so confused.
I'm just sitting here like, wait a minute. When I first heard they were gonna do a Sinister Six movie, I'm like, wait a minute. How are you gonna make a whole cinematic universe out of Spider-Man? I mean, what next? Aunt May the movie?
Aunt May goes to the grocery store. Or dies of a heart attack, I don't know.
Where are my milk and eggs?
Wait a minute. Okay, here's an idea. Okay, you guys could, Sony, you need to team up with 20th Century Fox so that, you could do the team up comic, and this is a real comic, where Aunt May teams up with Reed Richards and Sue Richards' son, and they fight Galactus.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, I remember that. You told me
what?
that was awesome.
Wait, what?
Oh.
Comics, why do you do these things? You hurt my brain.
It ended with Stan Lee waking up from a horrible nightmare.
Was that oh man, I remember that story.
But no, it seriously, I really don't see how you can make a cinematic universe out of Spider-Man. I mean, okay, you got Black Cat, you got Venom, and the Sinister Six only works when it's just the six of them going up against Spider-Man, because that was basically it. When they first introduced the Sinister Six, it was just Doc Ock and a bunch of other villains were just like, you know what, Spider-Man's been, getting on our way. Let's just take him out. So the whole comic book, which was a double-sizer, ended up being just the villains fighting Spider-Man. That was the plot.
One long fight.
Pretty much. Although they tried to make it interesting by having him fight them one at a time. and then just like slowly weakening him as he got to Doc Ock's secret lair to rescue Aunt May and Betty Brant. But it really, that was just it. I mean, you had cameos from other superheroes, like X-Men showed up, Iron Man had a one panel appearance, but that was Sinister Six. And according to what Sony wanted to do, it's like, oh, this is gonna be a redemption story. This is gonna be the Sinister six villains trying to, become heroes and, make up for their crimes.
Okay, so first off, you have to establish all these villains, of which you have only introduced the Rhino. So you have to establish their motivations, characters, personalities, and the fact that they're all evil, and then give them their redemption stories. That's like 6 Maleficents in one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think in this case it's just another case of what superhero movies are trying to do too much sometimes. The thing is, I have to quote the Marvel superheroine Squirrel Girl when I say, I miss the days when comics were about fighting giant gorillas on the moon. Remember when you didn't have to take comic book movies that seriously? And when one came along that you could take seriously, it was like a breath of fresh air?
And this is the difference between what, Warner Brothers and Sony and Fox are doing to Disney and Marvel. Marvel, they just kind of, embrace the fact that, yeah, okay, our characters have bright costumes and they go on these wild adventures. Sure, they try to keep it toned down to a level where it's like, okay, yeah, everything fit nicely, but they're really just kind of like, this is a roller coaster ride. Enjoy yourselves. And while everyone else is just kind of like, we need to get to the point where we're just as good as Marvel, so.
And the only way to do so, you have to copy that Marvel formula that they made, which they're not.
Speaking of which, that mysterious man in the hat at the end of the first Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that guy!
And he's back in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, still with his face hidden in the shadows. For the longest time, I'm like, who is this guy? And then we found...
Please don't tell me that he's Judas Priest.
No, this is Gustav Fiers.
Who?
Oh yeah, that guy. Don't you remember him from that one comic?
No, he wasn't even in the comic books. He's actually from a book.
Don't you remember from that one book?
Are these guys trying to make me take a guy named Gustav seriously?
I'm sorry, I'm getting Ratatouille flashbacks right now.
Gustav!
I've never read the book, but apparently this guy has connections to Hydra. But since Hydra belongs to Disney and Marvel, no Hydra. So I guess it's just Gustav.
Kind of, I'm Gustav. Where are you from? The Nazis.
Okay, I guess you can't copyright the Nazis, but what about the hat? That's it, his hat. That evil hat.
They could just make up an original evil organization for this, but then again, it'd be like, okay, whatever.
Isn't it already?
Wait, I got it. Hat. The evil organization known as Hat. The home of angry terrorists.
Oh. Oh no.
I like it. Make it a thing.
You did that very quickly.
Speaking of some more of I believe Sony. This one is technically not a comic book movie, but since it has a comic book, I am putting it on the to talk about list.
The to-do list.
The to-do list is to talk about list. And that is the recently announced Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for you to actually bring that up.
So we got the producer of the Fast and the Furious films working on it. And it's supposed to be a mix of cartoon and live action. So I'm sitting there going like, wait a minute, is this the canceled Smurfs 3 movie?
Or is this the sequel to Roger Rabbit? Oh no. I just scared myself now.
No, it's just, I'm sitting there going like, okay, Sonic movie, apparently taking place maybe in the real world.
Oh my gosh. I want to see Sonic talk to Jaleel White. I want to see that now.
Yes,
Sean, make it happen.
how am I supposed to make it happen? Jaleel White's got to be.
You're the fox with the fedora. Make it happen.
Call Jaleel on the phone. We'll get MD to animate it, and I will voice whoever needs to be voiced.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here going like, okay, so you want a Sonic movie to be both animated, live action? Is this going to be a repeat of the Smurfs? That's what I'm thinking here, because it's like, I mean, maybe there'd be a little more to it, because how much can you really do with the Smurfs in real living in real life?
In suburbia or New York, as it were.
My fans want me to review the second one. No!
Can I say what you should just say? It's same thing. Evil Smurfs added.
And one fan even told me that it was good.
Oh wow.
Well, not like better than the first one.
Do you want me to blow your mind right now?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, any extra thoughts on Sonic the Hedgehog the movie?
It's a thing.
I see this one as like the Ninja Turtles movie that's coming out. I don't expect to like it, but I have to see it for myself.
See it to believe it, right?
They're evil geniuses, which I don't know. It may be good. I don't know, because I just want it to be, because I am Rugburn basically somewhere in my soul, but I'm so scared.
Rory, did you have anything to say?
So long as it's not based on Sonic 06, I don't really have anything.
Do not speak its name. Sonic 06 didn't happen.
The kiss.
Technically, it's part of the time stream.
Don't talk
now.
about that kiss.
I wasn't talking about any kiss.
None of it happened.
That kiss is not canon.
What'd you say, Zach? Your thoughts?
I was gonna bring something up in terms of the Sonic movie.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing I'll say is that I'm actually kind of looking forward to it, since they kind of want to put themselves in the humanistic world with the with the anthropomorphic characters, them being all CGI. I'm kind of expecting a Sonic Adventure kind of style. Since it was the very first one that utilized the Sonic characters in real world setting.
Well, if they do it right, it could look, it could look good, but I mean...
I want to hear songs from the video games in the soundtrack.
I feel as though that's just going to be on the radio of like him running by a car, and you're just going to hear, see you later, zoom!
Hey, that's my jam.
You know what my jam is? Grape.
I don't think anybody would complain. The soundtracks is one of the things that people have universally said is the best thing about the Sonic games lately. No matter how bad the game itself actually is.
Yeah, even Sonic 06 has one of the best soundtracks. Which I do have.
I have some of the songs.
I actually have the real CDs.
How archaic.
Because I felt like it.
Anyway, so, moving right along. We
For the
have...
speed of sound.
we've been talking a lot about, Sony and 20th Century Fox and Warner Brothers. Let's take a look at what Disney's up to lately.
Big Hero 6.
Hey, Rory, you read my mind.
Yay!
I predict that we will be talking about it.
Okay, so, for those, Zach, Conan, are you familiar with Big Hero 6?
I have seen the previews for it on TV, and I don't know what to think of what I just saw. All I saw was this big white blob trying to fit into armor that didn't actually fit it, and I don't know anything of what's going on. What am I seeing with my two eyes?
So, get this. It's set in the fictional city of San Francisco,
Of course.
Because Japan.
where a young robotics genius named Hiro Hamada and his robot Baymax discover an evil scheme put together by a bunch of unknown villains we probably won't hear about till we actually see the movie or later trailers. So he puts together his own team of crime fighters, which include the following characters. Now I'll read them off to you, and we'll just go from Rory, Conan to Zach, just, opinions about what you think about this team. All right, so we have Wasabi no Ginger, a samurai chef. We have Honey Lemon, a brilliant scientist and a secret agent with a power purse, which contains a nanobot micro universe based on the works of Hank Pym, aka the Ant-Man.
Darn it, who stole my idea?
Third member is if I can pronounce the last name, Gogo Tamago. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Go Tamago.
Yeah, it's a stunt driver, racer, and motorcyclist who has a voice-activated battle armor, and it absorbs kinetic energy. And when she utters the words "Go Tamago," she gains invulnerability, flight, and other powers. And then the last member is Fred.
Fred.
And you can buy all these members too together in a special bundle pack for only $39.99.
Fred is actually Fredzilla.
Oh.
Why do I feel as though his voice is gonna be very high pitched and he's gonna be saying, "Hey, it's Fred"?
Actually, I think it's the guy playing Fred is actually the guy from the Yogi Bear movie, T.J. Miller.
Oh dear lord.
Okay, Rory, say your piece so I can say mine.
That sounds like both the tastiest and the most awesome superhero team ever.
I think the best named one is Fred.
All right, Conan, go ahead.
I recently met up a hero named Hero, and I feel robbed. But for the rest of them, check out my DeviantArt page to see Hero training. It's a single image, but I am working on a story for him. But for everyone else, wasabi no ginger, and then tamago. You know what that means, right?
Yes.
For anyone who doesn't know, that means egg. So she's screaming out, "Go egg!" and growing powers by saying, "Go egg!"
Go catch an egg!
It loses a lot of its awesome sauce to it when you say it in English. It was like...
Doesn't everything lose its awesome sauce when it's Japanese is spoken in English?
Yeah, but here's the thing about Japanese culture. They scream out English-sounding words because they think they sound cool. Like,
Tomato!
Yeah, exactly. And I remember an episode of Sonic X in the original Japanese. Sonic is about to dart off into the distance, and he says, "See you!"
Well, you do know the reason why the actor actually was saying a lot of English lines. The reason being is because Sonic was so popular in America that the actor said, "Hey, can I actually have some English lines be put in here?" And so this is actually one reason why a lot of Sonic games actually have better dubbing in English rather than Japanese.
Yeah, the thing is that English is just one of those things you sprinkle into your everyday language to make yourself sound cool. Unless you actually know conversational English or grew up with English, in which case it makes them sound like dorks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that why the Dragon Ball Z Kai soundtrack had a lot of songs with English sprinkled in there?
Yeah, that's exactly why.
Oh yeah, and considering that music actually had questionable knockoffs and a copyright problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which we can talk about Dragon Ball Z because mangas are technically Japanese comic books.
Technicality!
And also, Dragon Ball Z movie coming to theaters.
Don't care.
Which you mentioned last episode.
Yeah, so see it. 4 days only to see it. P.S.
So that's Big Hero 6. I know my sister's looking forward to it. But we'll have to see how it does because while it does take from I believe characters from the Marvel Universe, it is not like connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe in any way, but still it's in the same lineup as like other films like, you know, it's Disney animated. So it's like Princess and the Frog, Tangled, Frozen, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast. It's in that same lineup. So now here's a question for actually Rory. Thoughts on Comic-Con? We know Comic-Con is coming up pretty fast. They've announced that Marvel's going back to Hall H, but they have not said anything as to what they'll be announcing as in terms of movies. What movies would you like to hear announced for Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Well, let's see. I would definitely like to hear final confirmation on who is going to be cast as Doctor Strange. Confirmation on Black Panther. Is it absolutely greenlit, or is it still not going to be going forward? Anything regarding Captain America 3, Thor 3, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. If we are going to be getting another Hulk movie, and of course Avengers 3.
Okay. Zach, you got any hopefuls for the for Phase 3?
For Phase 3 of Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really say much. I guess I just kind of have my usual, such as like we'll be able to see more than just Thanos turning his head.
Yeah, really.
I do, of course, actually. I do kind of want to see a Doctor Strange movie, and considering like how much like of the universe is starting to really expand, they could have a lot of fun with just his movie in general.
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
And can't really think of anything like of what to add. I would say just like of course, I'm kind of expecting a Thor 3, which I will love Thor 3 because Loki.
Of course.
Loki is by far my favorite Marvel character of all time. Deadpool being number 2.
Well, yeah, gotta don't want to leave that Thor 2 open ended. So
Yeah, and plus also spoilers for those who I'm about to say involving a spoiler from Thor 2. So 3, 2, 1. What will happen to Odin?
Odin Quest.
Odin Quest number 4.
Go on, get on that there was one story arc where like Thor and his
I just want you guys to know right now, real quick, that my headphones are off right now because I heard spoilers.
Good for you.
All right, good. You're okay now.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
But yeah, the I'm thinking maybe they talked about that they want to do Surtur or in the movies the fire demon Surtur.
Oh yeah, I remember Sword. He had the fire sword, right? The giant fire sword of the mountain.
Yeah, the Twilight Sword. And they
Does it have? Is it powered by sparkling vampires?
I knew you were gonna say that.
Why do we keep mentioning these movies?
But no, it's I know that there was talk about that. There's also talk about doing the Ragnarok story, which for those who don't know, that is the Asgardian Doomsday story. So Armageddon for the Norse mythology.
Yay! Killing everyone!
So long as somewhere along the lines we go to meet Hela, I will be very happy.
Quick question about people who are knowledgeable about Thor and Marvel and stuff.
Yes.
Has the Norse god of light Balder ever been a part of it?
Not yet.
I've done a little bit of research. He's appeared in video games that I've played, and apparently he's like invincible or something.
Well, the original Norse myth is that the prophecy is if Balder dies, then that will start Ragnarok. So the original Norse mythology has Loki tricking I forget somebody into actually killing Balder, which starts Ragnarok.
Loki isn't nice.
Way to go, Loki! You had one job.
You had one job, Loki. One job.
Don't ruin the universe. And look what you did. Everyone's dead except those two guys, but everyone's dead.
But yeah, okay. So looking forward to what Marvel's gonna bring to Comic-Con, just Comic-Con in general. See what they've got coming up. Which actually brings me to what Marvel's got in the works right now, aside from movies. Let's talk Netflix. Netflix has been very successful when it comes to binge watching for shows like original shows like House of Cards, Orange is the New Black.
That's how I got through the first season of Arrow.
Yeah, even uploading popular shows like Arrow. Now Marvel and Disney have a series of miniseries they'd like to do featuring Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is Spider-Woman. This will culminate into a Defenders miniseries where they all team up and kind of form a smaller version of the Avengers.
And then Nick Fury steps in and says, I want to talk to you about the Defenders Initiative.
Rory, what's your thoughts about this?
Luke Cage sounds cool. I've never been a fan of Daredevil, and Spider-Woman should be interesting. The idea of the Defenders itself, like you said, it's kind of a mini Avengers, so putting it on a smaller scale, it'll be interesting. I know that they're planning on doing this whole thing to bring the Marvel Universe down to the street level so that we can see what goes on there, kind of the way that they used Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to show the more government aspects of the Marvel Universe and how those things work. So I think I'm overall looking forward to it.
There's definitely I'm definitely interested in seeing where it goes. I mean, especially with a character like Iron Fist. Iron Fist actually very similar to your character of Leaf, Conan. He uses his chi to battle supervillains.
For those of you who might not be familiar with his character, I don't recommend it, but check out Ultimate Spider-Man to get a quick idea of who he is.
A very quick idea, then get out.
Please.
The other news involving the Netflix series is that they cast the Kingpin, and the guy playing him.
Please tell me he's a fat guy.
I'm afraid I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's like Vincent Onofrio, something. I have to look up how to pronounce it.
Onofrio?
But do you guys remember the first Men in Black film?
Yes.
No.
Lies.
Do you remember the bug alien?
No.
Yes.
Okay, here's a little bit more of an updated version of him. Have any of you ever watched Law & Order: Criminal Intent?
Sorry. What's television?
No.
Yeah, don't ask them. They'll recognize him from this. The guy playing the guy playing the Kingpin is the bug alien from Men in Black.
So the Kingpin's gonna be a bug alien?
Well, considering I've never seen Men in Black, so I can't really say.
I'd be so confused.
Go see Men in Black. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'm on a podcast.
It's not the bug alien, it's the bug alien in the Edgar suit.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So a bug in a suit's gonna be doing it? That's still just as confusing.
Leave quick question for you. Can you accept a raccoon being an alien from outer space, being a gun-wielding superhero with a whole bunch of other weirdos like a tree?
Kinda.
Then you can accept the bug alien in a suit being Kingpin.
Okay, I question this creative choice.
Can you accept that Sonic has green eyes?
Well, yeah.
There you go.
Oh. Yeah, he's right. This isn't a big deal anymore because Sonic has green eyes.
Now the last thing on the podcast to talk about list is actually.
Oh, we're nearing the end.
Yeah, we are nearing the end.
Well, this sucks.
This one's actually kind of a just for fun thing. It's actually not news, but I decided to go ahead and look up supervillains that are just too silly or just have the strangest names that probably won't make the cut into a superhero film.
I bet I know at least one on your list.
Challenge accepted.
And this is the list I came up with. I will read them off to you. I'm sure there might be more weird ones out there, but this is what I came.
Leave them in the comments.
This is what I came up with. The Baffler.
The what?
There you go. He's already working.
The what?
The Baffler, who is a Batman villain who basically has the exact same formula as the Riddler.
Boo.
I find this baffling.
Here's one. Crazy Quilt.
I remember him from Batman Brave and the Bold.
What?
He's blind, but the only way he can see is if the room is in disorienting colors.
And again, I say, what?
He is not the craziest.
How about this one? Doodlebug.
Wait. Let me guess. This is an insect who wields a different colored crayon in each hand.
I don't know. I just know that he's like an artist who like has visions of inspiration that he makes come to life or something. I have to go look it up again.
Wait, Chalk Zone.
Okay.
We already got the chalk.
Here's another one. Kite Man.
Oh yeah, I remember Kite Man.
Okay, in his defense, that kites are a staple of the fictional ninja arsenal. They use them to infiltrate places from above.
Or as I like to call Kite Man, Charlie Brown, age 30.
No. You remember that Charlie Brown cannot use a kite to save his life because of the kite-eating tree.
Well, this is his vengeance against the kite-eating tree.
So, if it was, I think he would become Chainsaw Man or I Cut Down Trees Man.
Either way, his arch nemesis wouldn't be Batman. It would be Poison Ivy.
All right, here's another one. This is the last of the DC Comics characters. Mr. Camera. He has a camera for a head.
What?
What, no 10-eyed man?
No, this is just Mr. Camera.
Wait, what? I'm trying to imagine how they would modernize a character like him. I mean, originally I would imagine he had this great big old flash bulb on his head, but nowadays would his head be the size of an Apple product? Would it be a big Apple product with a camera facing outward? Or would it be like the iPhone 5 just sitting between his shoulders and just turning this way and that way?
No,
How would he take
Beacon.
selfies? How would he take selfies?
What'd you say, Rory?
I don't think that he'd have an Apple product like an iPhone or anything. I think that it'd just be a giant Nikon or Nikon, however you pronounce it. One of those good cameras, This way he can take pictures of supermodels in order to supplement his income.
That's not modern, popular, hip, cool, with the jive, popular, available, marketable, all that other bull with the bull, bibbity bobbity bull.
All right, and now on to Marvel. There are 4 Marvel villains here. Okay, you are evil when your name is Merlin Demon Spawn.
It sounds like you're trying to be too cool.
That sounds like the most unfortunate name to have in a playground setting. Either that or that would make you like the coolest kid there.
Only thing is that in actuality, he's a nerd.
Well, that's just sad. I feel bad for this guy now.
Think about how he'd be in just if he wasn't a supervillain, just in a everyday setting, like working in a cubicle or something. It's like, okay, we'll pass you on to our sales representative, Mr. Demon Spawn.
Hi, I'm Mr. Demon Spawn. I'm going to be your representative today. Why are you laughing?
Sorry, you got something on your face.
I am so terribly sorry.
Also, you're evil.
What?
You're evil.
All right. So then the next one on the Marvel list is, and I talked with Conan about this one, Dr. Glitter Knight.
Oh.
Oh
I remember
my.
him.
I'm not gonna make the joke.
Do it!
From Werewolf by Night.
You gonna make the joke now? Huh?
No, I refuse. You can't make me.
It is your destiny!
Twilight invades the Marvel Universe.
Give in to your dark side.
But no, it's actually really odd, this character. Okay, the name and design are really strange and really silly, but his powers are like, the stuff of nightmares. It's like, I just turned your sister into a demon to fight you. It's like, oh my goodness, what the heck?
Like, come on, man. That happened like last week. I'm over it now.
But yeah, it's really weird. I think they killed him off in the comic book, so he's not around now, but he was like a product of like the late 70s, mid 70s. But yeah, anyway, the last 2 characters. Okay. Coming in at second place for the one I found is an Iron Man villain called the Unicorn.
Oh, I can hear the bronies now.
I will not make the joke. I will not make the
No,
joke.
come on.
What? No, I can't.
I made the Twilight joke. Let's have it.
Darn it, Twilight Sparkle, stay out of my superhero movies.
I was gonna go with The Last Unicorn, but okay.
You shut up. Everyone else is thinking the same
At least
thing.
that one had Jeff Bridges.
I believe the unicorn in the comic books, he was created back in the 60s. He's just like a guy in a crazy suit with a helmet on his head, and like the helmet has like a nozzle that is resembling like a unicorn horn, and he fires laser beams from it.
Oh, gosh.
Bronies before bronies.
Yes.
A hipster brony.
That's not even funny. That's dumb. He has a spout. He has a laser spigot on his head, and that's his deal.
And the number one worst villain I could find. And when you hear this, before I explain his shtick, don't assume, okay? The villain is Dr. Bong.
Interesting. Interesting.
I'm not assuming.
from Howard the Duck.
Please, Sean.
Oh, of course.
Please.
Elaborate.
Yes, tell us this guy's gimmick, his deal, as it were.
He has a giant bell on his head.
What?
You know, like when you hit it, bong. Get it?
I'm surprised that George Lucas didn't include him in the Howard the Duck movie.
I think there was already enough in there for him to actually put in it.
Zach, do you have a joke you don't want to make right now?
Sure. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Doctor.
Doctor. Oh, jeez.
Well, then again, I also found stir fry.
Stir fry?
Stir fry.
No, strifey. Strifey.
Strifey.
Stryfe.
Strife?
Strife.
Wait, no, sorry.
That. I liked him better when he was called Stir Fry.
I want to make a villain called Stir Fry now.
Quick, all of us make villains called Stir Fry and see who's the best.
Put him against the team in Big Hero 6.
I will make a villain called Stir Fry. He is a fryer from a restaurant who has been deformed by when fryer oil gets splashed on his face and becomes stir fry. His main weapon of attack is French fries.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here for today. Thank you guys for joining me. We'll see what we can do next time. And we'll meet back here next Sunday.
Okie dokie.
All right, for Comic Books Go to the Movies, I'm Sean Basinger, aka The Fox and the Fedora. See you then.
Bye!